Next time you mention it, I'm just walking right out.
That's curious.
3, 1, Freddie Slam. Reach out and swipe.
Do you guys want to start off, or do you want me to start off? How do you want to do this?
Do we want to go by sub count?
Okay. In that case, I'll start off. Hello, everyone. My name is Freddie Hernandez. I run a YouTube channel called Tavarish, where I work on cars that have seen better days. So I have exotic cars, luxury cars. I also have some hoopties that I think are really, really fun. I also run a channel called French Every Day, where we work on some more hoopties. And today I'm going to be talking to some of my friends that also have YouTube channels. Guys, how about you?
I was hoping you were going to say that also have hoopties and also enjoy the punishment of working on those kind of cars. So what's up, everybody? My name's Charles. I run a YouTube channel as well called Humble Mechanic. And over there, we work on, I think I'm like second in line to enjoying the punishment of working on cars, right behind Freddie. I think he might be the only one that enjoys that punishment of working on foreign cars and exotic stuff more than I do. Primarily VW and Audi focused. I spent my career as a VW technician, so that is the world that I'm very familiar in. Other than, weirdly, this Miata that I picked up last year that, oddly enough, it's like the most hoopty. I'm going to just totally use your word, Freddie, here. It's the most hoopty car I own, but it's also like the most fun car I've driven in quite some time. Not that I don't have some other fun stuff to drive, but I love driving that dang Miata, man. It's just. So
do you like that you're not using 13 millimeters anymore?
Say again?
Do you like that you're not using 13 millimeters anymore?
No, you know what? I do struggle a little bit because it's like, that looks like a 13, and then it's a 12. And then I have to walk like one step away to get the 12. And I got to say I'm good mostly as long as it's not standard size fasteners, because then I'm just like, I don't know how to fraction. And then I feel dumb. I mean, I know how to fraction, but it's not that like intuitiveness that the metric system delivers us when we're talking about tools and fasteners.
Well, that's okay, because we probably work on cars the least out of all three of the channels here. We are Gears and Gasoline. This is Ben. I'm also Ben. And we mostly film the cars rather than working on them because we're pretty incapable.
Yeah, and also we're really bad at introductions too. You guys are way better at that than we are as well. But yeah, we just do a lot of filming and make, like, I guess pretty car content.
Yeah, we hide everything underneath a heavy editing filter of cinematic video.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say, it's some of the most beautiful car cinematic footage on YouTube right now.
Freddie, I think this is the first time. Is this the first time I've talked to you? I know you talked to other
maybe. I know. Yeah. I've talked to Ben quite a bit. Ben Thorne, quite a bit. Yeah. I think this is the first time we've talked, but we sort of know each other because it's such a small community that we're a part of. Like, it's this weird thing we all do. Yeah. So I know I've spent some time with Charles. We've been together at SEMA and some other events, and it was it was really cool. But you guys. I am a very big fan of you guys. You guys make some of the best content. And I'm not jealous, and I'm not going to say that you guys just put Instagram filters on your stuff. But, because that's the kind of person I am. Okay? I'm a nice guy.
Man. I'll chime in, though, and say I'm super jealous because, no joke, y'all, beautiful, beautiful work. Absolutely, I will say motivating rather than on the jealous side. But, yeah, Gears and Gasoline, man, y'all do some pretty epic content. And we actually met kind of weirdly, I will say. I had engineering explained over at my house, and we were doing this turbocharger blanket video with this really tricked out, insanely expensive thermal camera. He's like, oh yeah, I invited a couple dudes over. I'm like you invited some dudes over to my house? All right. No, they're so cool. I'm like, all right, like Jason, I love you. It's no problem. So you show up, and then the four of us had this like really awesome intimate experience in my turbocharged GTI, trying to film some content. And I think the coldest day in North Carolina history. Yeah, it was a really fun day of filming both that, and I think I think we had filmed something for Advance that day, spark plug video, if I remember right.
I know that cars they definitely need exercise, and I'll take an example. I have a Lamborghini. It's a Murcielago. It's the Fast and Furious one.
Is there
no, not.
Warning,
Carolyn,
like where we can do unrelatable in
Carolyn,
3, 2, 1. Freddy's Lambo.
Are we allowed to just leave? Like, is my time up?
Next time you mention, I'm just walking right out.
Have I fulfilled my contract?
So I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have the toy car here. So this is Tyrese's Fast 8 Lambo. But it actually does need a lot of exercise. So I try to drive it like every week. And if you don't drive it for a few weeks, it's very temperamental. Like, it doesn't like to idle. It's very like it's a little lumpy. But once you drive them, or just like start them up or something, let the fluids kind of circulate, and they're so much better. So I always hate when people sell cars and they're like, well, this car is it has 50 miles from the dealership and it's never been driven. I'm like, I would not. What am I going to do with that? Like, everything has to be replaced. So like the stuff I do on my cars is since obviously I can't drive everything, and a lot of stuff isn't really in driving shape. I like to put battery tenders on them just to make sure that the batteries don't go flat. Even if you have nothing in the car, batteries can go flat because of like temperature changes. They can also, like, you might have a parasitic draw that you don't know about. I have a few of those, and it's good to just have like a few battery tenders on them, just so when you actually do go to start them, they start up. It's really, really good insurance.
Yeah, that's kind of my biggest thing too, is having that battery maintainer on it. You know, a 50 milliamp draw when you drive the car every day or every other day will very rarely cause a problem. But when the car sits for 2.5 weeks, that could end up with like a slow crank or a no start. In fact, my blue R32, I just had it. I think I put like 100 miles on it this year. I've barely driven it at all. I had it in the garage a couple of days, just on the maintainer, chilling out. I went to start my white car, the white GTI that the Benz had ridden in, and the battery was dead because I haven't touched it. You guys, I think I've put 200 miles on it since we did that video, which was
3 years ago,
2.5 years ago. It's forever ago. But I put the jump pack on it, turned the key on, and this little puff of smoke came up out of the steering column. I'm like, that's not awesome. Weirdly, it started right up after like I fanned I don't know if it was just like some dust burning off, is what I think it was, actually just dust. You see the smoke,
so maybe like a fuel stabilizer.
But yeah, really though, to echo what you guys had said, the battery maintainer is huge. I think in a short-ish term, not driving your car, that's probably the best thing you could do for it. In shortish term, I mean not driving it for, you call that 2 weeks. You know, if the car is going to sit for 6 months, that's a different level of preparedness to have the car in storage. I'm upping the tire pressures. I might drain the fuel out. I might have maybe a third of a tank at most. I might be adding a fuel additive product to keep the fuel a little more stable. But driving, like, I am with you on that one, Freddie. Like, you have this car, and even if it's a rare car, I can promise you, you know, Mr. Ferrari didn't design amazing vehicles to sit as showpieces. They're all meant to be driven, and that's kind of my philosophy too. Of course, I don't own any supercars, I guess, so it's easy for me to say. But every one of us.
I'm sorry. I think you definitely do. I think you definitely do. The Golf R, you have like the R32s. You definitely have a pretty good stable, my friend.
That's a junior level of supercar. That's like, when I grow up, I want to have a supercar, but I could afford this $4,000 Golf. So I'm gonna buy it.
It's not. It might not be a supercar, but it is a super car.
I love it.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
put that
Yeah.
on my license plate. It's not a supercar. It's a super car. I love
Car?
You might not have a supercar, but your garage is definitely super.
Yeah, I do.
that. Oh yeah, it's pretty nice.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
100%.
So Freddie, you've kind of been Freddie. You kind of mentioned that you've been sequestered into your garage lately. What other than the insanely cool stuff? What are some of those hoopties you've been working on?
So I've been working on. I actually bought a bunch of cars because what happens when I'm alone and near a computer is I just look at cars that that need a lot of love. I don't know. Maybe you guys do that as well. But I bought a wide body Honda Civic that I'm going to be rebuilding. Let's see. I bought a Yugo GV. I bought a Bricklin SV1. I bought. I can't even remember. Like, there's a bunch of other stuff.
That is all. I got a bunch of cars.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. I love it.
Does Advance carry Yugo parts? I'm so in for the Yugo content.
So here's the thing. I was like, does Advance really carry Yugo parts? And they do. They actually do. Not everything, because I mean, that car was made in a country that doesn't exist anymore. So obviously parts are going to be a little bit hard to find. But stuff like brakes and, like maintenance items, they carry them. So that's actually pretty cool. But one of the things, I mean, I got a Porsche 911, Aston Martin DBS, the usual stuff. I'm not going to flex on you guys, but,
Anymore after this.
How many Lamborghinis?
Let me tell you about my 2 Lamborghinis, guys. Come on.
I just feel sad now.
All right, where do we carry that conversation?
I think we're all like, what? Okay.